Why does propaganda so often win while truth struggles to survive? Why do lies spread faster than facts? And why do entire societies sometimes embrace the false while rejecting what is real? At first glance, it seems impossible. Truth is solid. Truth is eternal. Truth has weight. Lies, by comparison, are fragile. They crumble under scrutiny, and yet history shows us the opposite. Propaganda has toppled nations, fueled wars, shaped revolutions, and rewritten entire cultures. Truth is slow, but propaganda is fast. Truth whispers, propaganda shouts. Hook 1. If you think you're immune to propaganda, you're already under its spell. Let's start with the basics. What is propaganda? It's not just lies. Propaganda is a weaponized form of communication designed not to inform, but to persuade, to manipulate, to control. Sometimes it contains lies, sometimes half-truths, and sometimes even full truths, but twisted, framed, and repeated until they take on a life of their own. Propaganda doesn't care about accuracy, it cares about power, and here's the secret: propaganda doesn't just speak to your mind. It speaks to your heart, your fear, your desire, your identity. Truth often requires work, thinking, reflecting, doubting. Propaganda requires only belief. And belief is easy, especially when everyone around you is already chanting the same thing. Hook 2. Truth asks for patience. Propaganda asks for passion, and passion always wins in the short term. Let's take history. In the 20th century, propaganda became an art form. Totalitarian regimes perfected it. Posters, speeches, films, designed not just to inform but to invade. Every message carried one point: you are part of something bigger, and to question it is betrayal. Entire populations were swept away, convinced not only of lies but of lies they wanted to believe. That's the key. Because propaganda doesn't succeed by forcing you to believe what you hate. It succeeds by giving you what you secretly wish were true. It tells you you're the hero, your side is pure, your enemies are monsters, your leader is infallible. And who doesn't want to believe that? The truth, by contrast, is uncomfortable. The truth tells you your side makes mistakes, your leader is flawed, and you yourself might be wrong. Hook 3. Propaganda wins because it flatters. Truth fails because it humbles. Now let's talk psychology. The human brain is wired for stories, not for facts. We remember narratives, not data. Propaganda always comes in story form. Heroes and villains, battles and victories, good and evil. Truth rarely fits into such neat categories. It's messy, complex, full of shades of gray. And most people don't want gray. They want black and white. They want clarity. Neuroscience tells us something even more chilling. Once we emotionally believe a narrative, facts that contradict it don't weaken our belief. They strengthen it. Why? Because we see those facts as attacks, as proof that the enemy is trying to deceive us. This is called the backfire effect. It means propaganda doesn't just resist truth, it feeds on it. Hook 4. Propaganda isn't destroyed by truth, it is reinforced by it. But propaganda doesn't only survive, it thrives in modern times. In the digital world, attention is the new currency. Truth is boring, truth is slow. Propaganda is exciting, emotional, and viral. Social media algorithms are designed to amplify whatever keeps you scrolling. Outrage, fear, and tribal loyalty spread faster than reason, data, or nuance. The platforms don't care whether it's true or false. They only care whether it gets clicks. And propaganda always clicks. Think about it. When was the last time a headline that simply said, "Things are complicated," went viral? It doesn't happen. But "Enemy destroys your freedom," or "Leader saves the nation," that spreads like wildfire. Propaganda has adapted perfectly to the age of algorithms. Hook 5. In a world of algorithms, the loudest lie beats the quietest truth every time. But let's step back. Is truth doomed? Not necessarily. Truth is slower, but truth lasts longer. Propaganda burns fast and bright, like a wildfire consuming everything in its path. But once the flames die down, truth remains, waiting to be rediscovered. History shows us this too. Regimes built on propaganda eventually collapse. Lies eventually crack under the weight of reality. But the damage they leave behind, the ruins, the scars, the broken trust, can last for generations. So why do we still fall for propaganda? Because it feels good. Propaganda removes doubt. It removes fear. It gives you a clear enemy to hate, a clear leader to follow, a clear purpose to live for. Truth, by contrast, leaves you with responsibility. If things are complex, you can't just blame the other side. You have to face yourself, and most people would rather live with a beautiful lie than with a hard truth. Hook 6. Propaganda promises comfort. Truth demands courage. But here is something we often forget. Propaganda doesn't always come from the other side. It comes from your side too. It comes dressed in your values, your tribe, your language. That's why it's so effective. You don't even recognize it as propaganda. You call it truth. You call it justice. You call it common sense. But if you can't question it, if you can't criticize it, if you're punished for doubting it, then it's propaganda, no matter where it comes from. Hook 7. Propaganda is never what they say. It's what you're not allowed to say. So what can we do? The first step is humility, to recognize that none of us is immune. The smartest people fall for propaganda precisely because they believe they can't. The second step is courage. The courage to sit with complexity, to resist the easy answers, to listen even when it hurts. The third step is responsibility. To speak truth when it matters, even when it costs. Because truth doesn't win by itself. It wins when people defend it. And here's the paradox. Propaganda may work better than truth in the short term, but in the long run, truth is the only thing that endures. Empires collapse, regimes fall, ideologies rot. But truth, real truth, outlives them all. The question is not whether propaganda works. We know it does. The question is, will we let it rule us, or will we fight for something deeper, something harder, something real? Hook 8. Propaganda will always be powerful, but only you decide if it becomes your prison. So why does propaganda work better than truth? Because it is faster, louder, and easier. Because it flatters your pride and fuels your fear. Because it gives you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear. But remember this, propaganda can enslave a people, but truth can set them free. The struggle between the two will never end. And in every generation, including ours, the choice remains. Will we live by lies, or will we have the courage to live by truth?